Happy New Year. Although, being honest, it's not actually been the best start to the year in lockdown again. But hey, we are where we are. Okay, I haven't done an awful lot on this page for some time. And I just wanted to say I haven't forgotten you, but I am looking at new ways of working. So, um, I'm now doing videos of Qigong, and I'm also doing podcasts about mindfulness. Now, you may well have seen the links to the podcast episodes on this page. I still want to put video content on here, which can go onto YouTube. And what I've decided to do is to restructure it because, without being funny, the bottom line is this is how I earn a living. But obviously, this content and a lot of other content I provide is available free. This is done deliberately, partly because at the moment I feel the skills I'm offering are really needed out there, and I know people are strapped for cash. Excuse me, but also because I, you know, I do hope that if people see the free things, that they will feel it is worth actually paying for some of the stuff that I do if they feel it can help them. There is absolutely nothing wrong in me wanting to, try and monetize what I do. So I now have one platform where I am going to unify everything, where everything will be. And this is my Patreon page. Now, before you start getting worried, all the content that you currently access free, which is videos and podcasts, are on Patreon. They are still free. But if you choose to become a subscriber, you will be able to access extra content, longer content tailored for your needs. So, how this works is I do podcasts that are on Spotify, and I post the link here. I am doing Qigong and mindfulness videos on a live streaming channel called Twitch. Those get posted to Patreon, but I can't post them to YouTube. Videos I do here can be posted to YouTube, so I still want to keep all my platforms going. But what I'm going to do is I am going to use my videos on here to explain and teach a little more about how Qigong and mindfulness can be helpful, because there's no point in mindlessly doing something if you don't really understand why it could be beneficial. I will also use these videos to do some mindfulness meditations. And as before, the videos I do here will be uploaded to YouTube. So to my YouTubers, hi, I am still here. So all the content that you're used to seeing is still available. It's just I'm doing it on different platforms because I can reach different people. But there is a limit to how much time I can spend actually doing free content. So, having explained about the new way of working, hi Melissa, what I'm going to do now is a very short mindfulness meditation, which is going to be focusing on being non-judgmental. This fits in with the last podcast episode I posted. So, what I'd like to do now is to invite you to get yourself settled and comfortable, to try to make sure you won't be disturbed. And just try and get yourself as quiet and as comfortable as possible. And I can see I've got people watching. Can you please understand that while I'm doing this, I can't actually interact with you in chat. So get yourself settled and comfortable. And I'm just going to remind you, as I do, that mindfulness isn't about trying to clear your mind. It's about recognizing what your mind is doing. Because until we recognize what our mind is doing, we can't start to understand how we can actually change what our mind is doing, or understand why we need to change what our mind is doing. So this isn't going to be anything terribly dramatic. This is just going to be practicing a little bit of mindfulness, focusing on being non-judgmental. And so the first thing I'd like you to do, get yourself settled and comfortable, get your back as straight as you can, and try to make sure that you are in as good a posture as you can possibly manage without your muscles being tensed, because you can't meditate well if your muscles are tensed. You need to be relaxed. And close your eyes if you want to, but you don't have to, because this is all about being aware. So I'd like you to notice anything that there is to be noticed, that you can hear or smell or see. But as you notice them, can you accept and understand that they aren't important to you right here, right now, because you've given yourself this time to do something that's just for you. So you don't have to do anything except just to sit there, just to breathe and to be. And then can you bring your attention in to the point of contact between your body and your chair? Really notice that point of contact. And as you notice that point of contact, can you notice that gravity is holding you in your chair? You're not having to do anything. And actually, that means that for the next few minutes, you don't have to do anything except just to breathe and to follow along with what I'm saying in the meditation. Don't have massive expectations. Just have an open mind to see what can happen. And then, can you bring your awareness into your breath? Not changing your breath in any way, just noticing the gentle rise and fall, and the gentle movement and gentle rhythm of your breath. And can you allow yourself to allow your breath to be an anchor that anchors you into the present moment when you haven't got to do anything except just to breathe and to be. Now, one thing which it's very easy to do when we're meditating is to judge ourselves. You might find thoughts creeping in saying, I'm not doing this right. You might find other thoughts creeping in, oh, I need to do that later today. If you notice thoughts coming in like that, I don't want you to judge yourself and think, oh, I can't do this. Because our human minds are meant to think. And if your mind wants to think, then it just means you've got a completely normal human mind. You are a completely normal, wonderful, special, unique, but very normal human being. So don't judge yourself. Don't start thinking, I can't do this. Because we all judge ourselves. We make loads of judgments during a day. Every single simple thing that we do probably needs us to make a judgment. Am I thirsty? Do I want to make a cup of tea? What clothes shall I put on this morning? What clothes will make me look good? What am I going to say when I see that person later today? Will I find the right words? Am I doing my job well enough? Do people like me? Could I be doing things better? Now, all these thoughts are judgments. They're judgments that we make on ourselves and on other people. But we also make judgments about what's happening. I don't like this pandemic. I don't like this lockdown. It's not right. It's not good. When we start making judgments about things or people, about how they make us feel, that's when we start to feel stressed. So learning not to make judgments about things is a very important way to deal with stress. Because if you can learn not to judge whether something is good or bad, whether a person is good or bad, whether you are good or bad, and suddenly it doesn't really matter. Because if the pandemic is just there, or if that person that causes you stress is just there, but you're not seeing them as good or bad, it takes a lot of the emotion out of the situation, a lot of the anxiety, a lot of the stress. So how are you feeling now about how you're doing this meditation? Are you aware of thoughts saying, I'm not doing this right, or I don't understand that, I'm no good at this? And if you're aware of thoughts like that, and you understand how they don't actually help very much. You see, the thing is, every breath is a new start. So when you notice that your mind's wandered away with thoughts of the sort that I've been talking about, that's okay. It's just a thought, and you can change your thoughts. Use your breath as an anchor to bring your attention and your thoughts back to your body and start again. Every new breath is a new start. Every new breath is a new moment to be mindful, to be aware, to notice when you're having thoughts that are judgmental, whatever they're about, and to think, oh, do I need to do that? How much better would I feel if I didn't have that thought? So I'd like to invite you now, keep your awareness on your breath, noticing the natural rise and fall and the natural rhythm. And I'm going to give you a few moments of silence to do this for yourself, just to notice your thoughts, to notice if you're making a judgment, and to let the thought go. And you bring your awareness back to your breath just as many times as your mind wanders away. And that moment of silence is going to start now. So how did you do? What thoughts did you notice? Were you able to bring your awareness back to your breath? Don't judge how you did. But just remember, every breath is a new moment to begin again. We all have an inner voice that talks to us a lot. It's that inner voice that says all those things that are very mean. You're fat. You're no good. No one likes you. I'm not lovable. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. How much better would it be if every time you noticed a thought like that, you brought your awareness into your breath and let it go? So the thing is, very often we say much, much meaner things to ourselves than we'd ever let anyone else say to us. Learning not to judge is important. We're so used to doing it. So for the next few breaths, just practice being aware of your breath. Reminding yourself it's not a competition. There is no right or wrong way to do it. There is no right or wrong thing to notice. Just notice your breath and keep your attention on your breath without judging how well you're doing it. Now it's nearly time to end this meditation. So I'd like to invite you to let your awareness to spread out. So you become aware once more of where you're sitting in the chair, and then become aware of the room and everything around you, and any sounds or smells or feelings. And maybe before you dash back to your day, just spend a moment to just reflect. How do you think that went? And as you reflect, if you notice judgment, I could have done better, remind yourself that every breath is a chance to start again. Every breath is a chance to practice the things that you learn with me in these videos. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for watching. And if anyone does have any questions, post them below this video, whether you've accessed this video on Facebook or on YouTube. And as we are still quite at the start of the new year, hope it's not too late to say Happy New Year again. But If you're stuck with New Year resolutions, I don't believe in New Year resolutions. I think if you're going to make a change, you're probably going to make the change whatever the date is. But if you've made New Year resolutions, can you bring this attitude of not judging to how you're managing with those promises that you made to yourself back on the 1st of January? Now there's a challenge. I'll probably do these videos once a fortnight, maybe once a week. I'm not quite sure. I haven't sorted out in my mind yet how frequently I'm going to do them, but they will be more regular than they have been. Anyway, namaste. Take care of yourself, and I will hope that you come and join me on the next video.